Oh, alright,
Yeah.
yeah.
As long as
All
you both
right.
have socks on, you're good.
Welcome. If you're joining us, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Little faded session 46.
Damn.
Oh snap! 4
Woohoo!
more till the big 5-0.
I know we're almost there.
It's almost a
I
year.
I did tweak my neck sleeping, so you'll see if I rotate, I'm rotating my shoulders, not my head. It's not horrible. Just
Full contact
slept
sleep.
just slept on it wrong. That's all it is. So what happened here? Well, if you're watching the stream view, you probably can't see anything because we're in a keep and it doesn't really interact with the levels module too well. So you just see a bunch of doors and some token stuff. Yeah, so you're kind of theater minding it and seeing the chat card and getting excited. That's really what you're observing. For the players, though, they can see inside the keep and it's pretty fantastic. You all have laid siege against Trillia's fortress. You have been attacking this. This is multiple sessions at this point. You have not gotten experience on the first session, you experience the second session. Now we're on the third session. Okay, this has taken some time. You've broken through the doors, entered into the small courtyard, entered into the keep itself. You're battling rangers over and over again, and you are navigating in terms of what you wanted to do. You went downstairs first, and upon going down there, you saw that there is a dungeon of natural kind of carving in walls and things. They simply just dug things out, or maybe used natural ways. Maybe the lake kind of went through here at some point. And so they have used these alcoves for rooms. And they have tables down there. They have a small kitchen. And it's almost like an auxiliary place, right? Because there's rangers camping outside. They're probably camping in the marshes. They're here in the fortress, right? They're also now downstairs. And it's really just occupying as much space as possible to build forces. And it was very dark, gloomy, and honestly downright disgusting down there. There was just nothing. There was no furnishings. It was not a great place to live. And yet that is where Thanos lived. They didn't know it, but they get to see it now. So we had something happen. Thanos, you began to fall prey to the grasp of Trillia once more. Perhaps a seed, a tadpole once laid inside of your mind, and that grasp was pulling at it to try to enthrall you as a servant once more. But something intervened. Maybe someone intervened. Their name stayed as Aquina. They were not described in great detail, but they did provide information that allowed you to assess that they are perhaps the master or the creator of something very powerful. And in their like mind, they perceive you as an ally for what it is you are enacting against. But the quests are not similar. They are of difference. I'm sure you can make your own assumptions what I'm referring to. You can draw your own conclusions. I'm not going to go into any more detail with the recap about it. You were given the information, and it's only for you that's given that. So, why at this point? I think the question really asks is why at this point does this voice come outwards, right? Why did they intervene at this stage? And I think that it goes into realm of what has been happening with the divination magic. There's been this thing of going, oh, well, we can't be seen through divination magic. We can't, So is that a passive thing, or has something actually been actively working and attempting to do that? And how are they doing it? Is it something that's inside of us that's doing it? Right? Or is it something the stone is doing as well? Right? Is there two things? One thing? So there's more these questions. You're getting answers. In fact, this is probably a great deal of this answer from this person. This is a good chunk right there in terms of what they said. So, yeah. Well, we're in the middle of combat, and I think we should go ahead and get started. Erwin, how are we kissing him?
Wide open mouth, tongue out.
Wide
Blah.
open mouth, tongue out.
Why? Why does it always have to be the nastiest?
So, Erwin, as you reach outwards with the wide open mouth, tongue out, you begin to grasp, holding Varys with slight supernatural strength at this point. Gripping them tightly, you begin to brace your mouth, Varys. You're pulling away, trying to fight it off. And it comes.
He's kissing a closed mouth. Let's just make that clear.
Oh, it is very clear. It is very clear. Erwin, there's nothing else you're doing on your turn. That's going to be it. Thanos, you're up.
Oh, I could make a second strength check to see if my tongue got in there.
No.
You ran
Nasty
downstairs. To Gift of Orsilis. I'm not gonna click the button. I'm just gonna take away use because I know that it bugs out with the whole levels thing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna drop that down to 1, and I'm gonna teleport over here to the far side of the stairs.
Okay. Just know it's going to have, the walls, so you're going to have to move your token manually through some of that
That's
walling.
fine.
Yep.
Okay. So then 5, 10, 15. Yep, that's what I figured. Do I know that we kind of flared it for the gem to be on. Do I know about how long that gem is gonna last?
I'm going to say because we're in round 3, we were downstairs, we spent some time, we were navigating. Obviously, the gem doesn't last very long. I'm going to put it in the realm of maybe 2 rounds at this point. And I think that's pretty fair, round 5, at the end of round 5. Basically, at the end of your turn on round 5. That's when the gem will be ending. Now, you can see at this point that Lady Trilly has numerous wounds. I mean, they're bleeding profusely. They are running, and they're turning their head in the direction of you, and they actually snap their head back as you're running. You also have a marked, just FYI, Hunter's marked, which is aiding in your perceptions as well. They're aimed to go to the staircase going down. So they actually they're not leaving the fortress. They're actually going down underneath the fortress. As they turn around, they hold their hand out towards you. And they move from left to right. And as they do that, there is a haunting that begins to come across. Visions of fear and different things. This is only unique to you, because they're pulling upon dreaded visions that they're kind of playing with and toying with to try to pull outwards. And as they do that, nothing seems to, in fact, impact you. So they're almost like this almost mirage of these visions as they're moving from hand to left to right as reactionary towards you and seeing you. And then that seems to all of a sudden dissipate, and now it's real. Everything around you is real. And the mirage of what they were doing kind of fades. And they look towards you with a raised eyebrow, confused, but also understandable that whatever they did is not working.
We're going to end this, and I will shoot her.
Okay. Come across to the first 25. It's going to land. And that deals 17 points of piercing and necrotic damage. The bolt lands right into the gut.
Oh!
Do it again.
Second strike is going to be an H, which they were going to kind of turn, getting out of the way of the bolt as it fires down through the corridor.
I need her to die.
He's gonna do it. That
I
mad
really
lad.
just need
You
her
have
to
friends,
die.
Thanos. You have friends. You
I
gave them
know.
information. So you have friends. Just know they're still in the ethereal, so your friends won't see them.
Yeah, so what I'm actually going to do then is I'm going to put away, well, I'm not going to put away. In my second hand, I'm actually going to pull out the short sword and step closer to her, but make room for people to come down and fill into space. So that way,
Gotcha.
if she does run, I can stab her.
Okay.
And that will be the end of my turn.
All right, ending turn, we come to this ranger, who is control dominated. They are going to... I'm going to also make the creature invisible here. There's no real way to put it in the ethereal. We have the creature that's under the dominant and charm. they had saw that you had used your gift. Now, something to note is that they also have something similar, perhaps. This is your origination, but it's not every individual in a ranger that has your gift. Remember how you and your backstory and how we described the reason why you have the gift. And these rangers most likely are turned, they're not born. So there is a difference in what their capabilities are. In fact, none of them that you observed have ever used a gift. And perhaps none of them are here. Who knows? So you said that they're downstairs. And that is the key word to trigger the command. And so this ranger is actually going to run through you, Tegan, taking 15 feet of movement here. Proceed 20 feet and 25, and then 30. As they come down, they have 10 more feet of movement. They're going to come right to here, and they're going to stand looking from left to right, confused and not seeing anything. They're going to then take their action, and they're going to try to track, making a survival check. Too low here. They're going to have an option. Okay, and that's going to be the end of their turn. Maldor, you're up next.
All right. Start clearing some space out. I assume I heard.
Yes,
shout that. Yeah.
of course. Yeah, the noise is traveling through the corridor. It's just easy. It's metal walls too, so all the sound is not even. It's all bouncing.
All right, so he's gonna send the echo down the hallway, then rope a dope, bonus action, swap places, which is probably gonna break with the walls.
1, 2. You're gonna break. I'm not.
Yeah, I can't get through the wall. So
Yeah, just go where you need to go.
He'll be over here, and that'll leave him with 15 feet of movement still.
Okay.
So he's gonna get to here.
Okay.
And the echo will be gone. If he's not, I can't see him anymore.
Okay. I'll make sure the echo's gone.
Still can't see anything. He's going to cast Detect Thoughts in an effort to try and sense her location, at least in a relative sense.
Okay. Get a wisdom saving throw from you. You're gonna need it.
Maybe you don't target yourself for that spell.
Fairly gonna succeed on it, so you're just absolutely powerful. I'll put the
Absolutely fact.
Absolutely. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a concentrate effect on you then, just to showcase you have the detect thoughts. There's no real effect for it anyway, so you're perceiving and you're reading thoughts outwards, just surface thoughts here, nothing to target per se. You are reading towards the ranger. You also are going through the detect thoughts. And you can see that there's something that is shielding Thanos' thoughts. You don't get anything actually from Thanos at all. There's no surface thoughts of anything. But then right here, you detect thoughts of Lady Trillia.
Okay.
As you're doing this, though, the thoughts here towards you, not to cut you off, Adam, because you're getting, because I'm giving you, because you're, not just that they're going, like, there's actually thought going, right? So, what you're hearing from Lady Trillia is that they're trying to get to what they're referring to in their mind as an obelisk. And that there is some connection between all of you as chosen ones to the obelisk. That's what I'm giving you.
Okay. But I just want to double check something on the spell. So, okay. So pushing deeper is an action, so I couldn't do that this turn. That's what I was checking. Okay, so yeah, he's just going to say that she's moving for the obelisk. She means to use it against us. And that'll end his turn.
Okay. Ending turn. Now we have the Rangers. They're all going to begin to file through. So 5, 10, 15. I'll go through here. That's going to be 35, 40. Then taking a dash action, Ranger is going to come down and essentially topple onto you. And they're going to come here, and then I'm going to sidestep them here, and that's the total of their movement speed after going through these spaces as well as friendlies. So Tegan, you're up next.
After getting rudely trampled twice. And just looking at the lovemaking going on in the room to his left, just gonna shake his head, turn around, and go back down the stairs.
He's
Gonna
not
spin it
even
around.
gonna help me.
Wow, that's super rough.
Tegan's under the. I mean, like half the magical people we meet, you end up making out with. So like,
That is not what's going on here at all. It's Peyton or Varys, my bad, being like, "Oh my God, stop!" Like,
To be fair, you were the same way with Pelu, and then you studied with him for.
oh, did I
a while.
accidentally?
No,
Okay,
you're
I
good.
may have.
You
okay.
went through. You went through Maldor. You're now at 25 feet, I believe, in total movement speed, taking the extra 10 to go through Maldor's space. You actually can't press any further forward unless you take the dash action.
I'll go ahead and dash.
Okay.
Try to get through to here.
Okay. So that's 35 feet now.
And I'll try to get through to
45.
here. I'll realize there's probably scary people with bows outside, so I'll kind of step here.
That'll be it for your movement then, in terms of moving.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so we are now coming above Varys. You're actually going to be grappled by this, so you're in a grappled condition by the arms of Erwin. You're beginning to be smothered with this delicious kiss. The tongue is attempting to penetrate through your mouth. What do you do?
okay, I'm gonna try to lean back and put my hands on the side of his head, and then cast a spell magic on him and see if that'll fix whatever is going on with him.
Okay, need you to expend the cast to get the slot off, and then I need you to make a intelligence check.
Oh baby.
Nice.
22. So as you grab the head and you begin to use your dispel magic, you are pulling out the soul was once kind of possessed, the spirit in a way, less a soul. It's not really traditional possession. As you pull it out, you can then see it begins to weave itself, fluttering and moving almost of its own volition. As it's feeding and fills in this cloud, it begins to pull towards you now. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no!
12. You, Erwin, are relieved of this. The voice away. Your arms are grasped. You know this, though. You are in the perspective. You understood that something was in control. You just couldn't vocalize that. It's like you're trapped inside of your own body. And now, so you have that voice. Oh. Look at this. Let him kiss you. Come on.
All right.
Your mind is very powerful. We can do great things. Woo! Sees your arm begins to reach out towards Erwin now to wrap up each other in a hug, embracing. Your action was spent, spell magic, and you have nothing left in your action economy the creature is allowing you to do. It's the end of your turn. Thanos. The Eutralia is disengaging in the ethereal and is beginning to run for the staircase, disappearing out of your line of sight and seemingly away. Adjusting tokens. Lucar, you're up next.
Okay, I am just going to be following everybody down.
Picturing the Benny Hill music as we all like cram up the stairs and then come
I
back
know,
down the
right?
stairs.
Gotta make it happen.
It's okay. You have 2 less people cramming the stairs because they're just
Right.
giving each
They're-
other possessions.
They're cramming the bedroom, yeah.
This is so cool.
Okay, so I just used another 5 to pass
Yep.
Maldor. Do I see Thanos is visible? Never
Thanos
know.
is visible.
I forgot I was hasted. Fuck. Okay. never
You
mind.
were hasted, and you forgot. I will not remind you of when you were hasted.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, we are too far in this game.
I was just looking at the icons and I was like, oh wait, I'm hasted. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was
I
one of the.
I
that-
forgot what I was concentrating on.
Yeah. I'm hasted. That's what you're concentrating on.
So-
Oh, drop that.
Go ahead, Steven.
As I'm like running down, do I see anything in this hallway? Like, what's going on here?
You just see an empty corridor. Ranger in front of you.
Roger. Okay, I guess I'm just going to use the last of my movement to step up here next to Thanos. And I guess use my action to Divine Sense a fiend? Is it a fiend? Are they fiends? I don't know.
Okay, so using your action here to sense the presence of potentially celestial fiend or undead, you do not sense any celestial fiend or undead at 60 feet.
Gross.
Anything else in your turn?
Frustration.
Maybe? Da, 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 da.
So that was your action. You are hasted, so there is
Yep.
movement speed left here for you, in a hasted action. So bonus as well.
Well, I guess I'm just going to look around confused and just take a dodge action.
Okay.
Except I can't do anything. Oh, I gotta click my token again. That's right.
I put it on you, so I saw that was going down. So I put the
Yeah, I
dodge
just
on you.
can't see the bar with all the stuff where I could end my turn.
Oh, you
think I
don't
might
see
need to
the
reload.
the token hotbar?
Nope.
Yeah, go ahead and get a refresh in. Sometimes it doesn't load in when you come in, so I'll just get a refresh and it'll pop back up for you. I'll end your turn here. All right, so we have another ranger. This ranger is blinded, still under the effect of the holy weapon. They're beginning to try to perceive as best as possible. They are using the wall as a guide. Huddle themselves down to here. They then are going to stop. Hello? Is anyone there? They're still blinded. Erwin, it's your turn.
Okay. Thinking back to my studies, I would assume I had some kind of possession or exorcism just happened to me. So,
I'll let
gonna
you do a religion check for free.
Oh, sweet.
$14. So this was some sort of spirit that was placed as a fume that invigorated Phil, looking for a host. Yes, this was a possession. It's not a curse. It is not an enchantment. It is a spirit that was looking for a host to survive before going on to some other plane.
Then I will try my best to assist it to the other plane, and I will channel divinity and cast Turn Undead. See if that works.
Okay. All right, so activating your turn undead, Varys. I need you to make a wisdom save, please.
Nice.
27. Resisting the turn based on the host's body. Having the same magical enchantments as well as the willpower of Varys, inhabiting their stats. They are not turned. Voice of Varys ring out towards you, but not in the voice of Varys, but in the voice of the spirit. The same voice you heard in your own mind. That would work on me! This one is quite well guarded.
Boy. I don't have. I mean, I can only heal as bonus actions. I don't know if you remember, I did drink a mysterious potion. So I don't know if that's having an effect on me or not. I didn't know if you remembered. I will ungrapple Varys.
Yep.
And just stand there.
All right. All right, Thanos. We now come to you. Round 4 at the end here.
We continue downstairs, and I'm gonna step through Lucar here. Oh, I don't have very much movement. I'm gonna take the dash action because I've gotta catch her. Why can I not? I can't move?
You can't move at all.
Nope.
Go ahead. And 1 second. I think I know what's happening.
Oh, is it the combat thing?
Yeah, it's basically saying because it's not your turn in combat and there's combat initiated on the map, it's wanting to be this way. So give me 1 second. Be able to move. Just be mindful of how much you've moved prior. So keep that in the
Yeah.
note. So you've gone, 20, you went 25 feet, 30 feet, right? And then you dashed?
Yeah. So, I think I have. I'm just gonna run up to her. I think that's the end of
Okay.
my movement anyway.
Okay.
And then, do I have bonus actions I can take right now? No, because she's Hunter's Marked. Okay. Yeah, I'll just stand here with my short sword out.
Okay.
I guess so she can't dash.
All right. We'll now come to this ranger here. This ranger sees you, Thanos, begin to come after, right, and begin to run. That ranger is beginning to push past and run after you. So we're having a different effect here. So 25 feet, 30, 5, 40. They're going to be on the turn tracker here. Eldor, you're up next.
All right. Freshly remembering that he's hasted and feeling a burst of speed. Yeah, he's going after her. He's going to yell at Lucra. She went downstairs. So that's 30 feet.
What? Yep, wait.
Okay, 45.
Wait.
It's a whole separate
Hold
map,
up, hold
I
up.
see.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
45, 50. Gonna use the hasted action to dash.
Okay.
Which would put me 60 feet to get here. Be 70 to get there. 75. That'll get me to 80. I've still got 40 left. Can I sense her where she is? With
Your
the
tech
still
thoughts,
being up?
it feels as if the thoughts are ringing out as you pass through a specific space. Right here is where you feel the thoughts coming from.
Okay, then I would have stopped right there.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't see her, but I have a sense of her location, so I'm assuming I can attempt to attack her.
You cannot. They're in the ethereal plane unless you have perceptions to perceive into the ethereal plane. You actually can't target them at all.
Mm.
A little bit of a weird rule, but that's kind of makes a little bit of sense because the gem is being like a guide
Yeah.
to Thanos here.
In that case, I will use my action to try and push deeper into her mind. Specifically, I want to understand what she's trying to do with the obelisk, like what it's going to accomplish.
Okay, they're going to make a wisdom saving throw. That's a failure. As you begin to pierce the mind of Lady Trillia to figure out exactly what is happening with this obelisk, there appears to be a motion, and dare I say, a notion as well. A motion of reaching the obelisk because they have been investigating, they've been researching it, and that you all being here somehow is the key to activating it. That the obelisk is not known to Grugash or to Orsivis. It is something that they found. They chose this site very particularly because of it, and have used the power they've been granted, gifted, to investigate it as a side hustle. They don't know, but they fear for their lives. They feel as if reaching it might change that. You sense desperation. Rangers are dead. They are also near death. Never intended to fight you in close quarter combat within the keep. Doing so would mean their own death. That's as much information as I can give you on the action to proceed through the mind.
So he's under the impression that she doesn't actually know what the obelisk will do. It's just might as well find out because I'm about to die.
Exactly. The last piece that they could possibly figure out before their death. Something of inquiry for many, many years.
Bonus action, then he will just summon the echo again.
Okay.
And he'll just say out loud for those who can hear, "Someone's been keeping secrets from her masters. They do not know of this obelisk, and she does not know what it does. I sense fear." And I will end his turn.
Drag, damn you, drag. We have another ranger. This ranger is actually going to perceive outside, begin to survey the scene, attempt to track as well. So they're going to go ahead and try to track out here. Ending turn. Tegan, you're up next.
Well, I am. I guess just sort of falling behind. Everybody seems to be running, so I think that would be the end of my 3 feet the door right there.
Yep, right there.
And I will dash.
Okay. All right, so we'll get to here. Don't move your token after that. I got you.
I am black. I have no vision.
Yep, yep. I know.
Okay, my best.
You're fine. Calm down.
I can't see.
I mean, that's a Tegan reaction, honestly.
I can't.
Just make sure you don't click back to the other map.
Yeah, right now.
No,
I'm
the Tegan
I'm-
reaction is, what the fuck is going
right now, I'm
on?
pulling you to the scene. Goose, I'll pull you
I'm
back.
in scene.
Right. Free to move. Right now.
Well, kind of. And I'm just gonna be visibly frustrated, being like, "Get the fuck out of my way, you son of a..." And then my turn.
Okay. All right, Ferris, you're up next.
What am I doing?
So, at this point, creature, looking at the power of your mind and feeling what it possibly can do, it reaches out direction of Irwin, and it uses the polymorph spell. I need you to target Irwin and please cast polymorph.
That's hilarious.
Irwin, the check should be save should be prompting you in the chat card.
Oh no.
19. You succeed.
So close.
You can
That
feel the
was-
presence of the polymorph as it reaches out towards you, and it seems as though, as you took your guard off on the turn, that Ferris was trying to turn you into a tiny little turtle.
Chrono shift.
Oh, no. See the voice in your mind. So, Willow. Would you like to know where your brother is? The end of your turn.
I hate it here.
At this point,
Everyone brings up your brother, man.
Thanos,
And
there's another disengage.
Fish.
Creature moves with quite haste in the ethereal, then stops and turns, retrieving themselves back. They're putting their hands up. Put their hands up. I surrender.
As if that's gonna work.
You surrendered to the wrong person.
Looks towards you, Maldor. If you value what the knowledge was you saw, you will stop that one from killing. Points in the direction of Thanos. Right. Lucar, you're up next.
Excellent. Question mechanically, can you hold movement? Like that last turn, could
No.
I have held? Oh, you can't hold movement.
Nope.
Okay. Cool. So following down, it's what, 30 or 35 to get to the bottom?
Yep, be 35 here.
35.
Don't move.
Poof.
You're at the Half-Life 2 loading screen.
Poof.
It's in the middle of the staircase.
I swear to God, if there's face huggers, I'm quitting.
Face huggers.
Yeah, face
I
huggers.
mean, I think that's Irwin at this point.
That would definitely be Irwin.
Well, I have no idea what's going on up there, so.
There's a sock on the doorknob. You just keep walking.
Yeah, I'm having the worst experience ever.
All right, so Lucar, you are pulled to scene here at this point. I'm also going to pull the stream view down, so at least you can watch if you're watching the streams what's happening down here. Lucar, you have quite a bit of traffic in front of you. You can probably observe.
Jam.
Yeah, you got a decent traffic jam happening. I don't know if you can see this ranger here.
I can.
Okay, good. Because I would try to configure it. The invisible condition should still show. So I turned on the one basically that doesn't have a dynamic effect, so that you can visibly represent. But technically, because they're in the dungeon area, the Gloomstalker thing is happening, so they are turning invisible outside of light. Thanos, you're actually in candlelight right now, so you're being revealed. So you definitely have a little traffic jam. You can see Lee Trilly up ahead. Peyton, you got your hand raised.
I just remembered that because I dropped haste, Maldor's stunned for the next turn.
Because you cast polymorph. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Son of a bitch. The PT can't even answer my question that I need to ask.
Oh, damn.
Well, that was a good reminder. Thank you. I appreciate
I think
that.
that's our first ever intentional hand raise.
I think so.
That's a
that
momentous
might
occasion.
have been a
Momentous
very
occasion.
momentous occasion to tell you about whether you're screwed. So Lucar, what are we doing here? You have movement stuff. You're still hasted, right?
Yep. I'm gonna push through the traffic jam, and I'm gonna see that bitch, and I'm gonna kill her because
Okay.
she fucking killed me earlier.
All right. So be mindful of
I'm
how
still
much movement
pissed off.
speed you had prior. So now you're down here. It's every 10 feet here to move through space.
So be 35, 45, 55, 65 to get through Thanos, right?
Correct.
This is the most us thing ever.
Yeah. So my hasted action will have to be a dash.
Yep.
I think. Hold on, let me.
Yeah, your hasted will have to be a dash, and you can get up to them. Attack.
Or if I use a bonus action in Misty Step.
Up to you.
So if I bonus action Misty Step past all of these guys, I should still have enough in the same turn to get to her. I don't know.
You have 25 feet after you have, 25 feet after you have Misty stepped, you've gone a total of 35 feet to get to the stairs, I believe. Let me see.
So I think if I Misty Step.
Yeah, you've gone 35 feet to get down to where you're at now. You do 35 feet, and then plus the 20, you'll be at 55 feet. So you'll be able to Misty Step and attack and have the hasted action.
Excellent. I'm going to do that.
This poor hag.
This doesn't violate his deal to ask questions because he didn't hear her surrender. I just want to point that
This bitch.
out.
She's standing there with her hands up, like
Yeah, the hands are up.
she could be casting a spell.
She
This
also
bitch.
Interpret it how you want.
destroyed
She
him.
raped my mind.
Yeah, she totally wrecked you earlier.
Path is blocked. Try again.
Yeah, because of the walling. Won't let you go through the walls. Just port wherever you can, and then. Hey, it worked.
Which is enough because I'm gonna climb on top of the table and then leap down on
Yeah,
her face.
Totally fine.
So we're like table hopping.
This is it's so great. I love that it works now.
Right?
Half the time it works, all the time.
Sometimes.
I mean, technically, I
Fun
may
spell.
not have been able to technically have seen the one I was trying to go to. So it's
Oh, good.
I'm going to say nobody rapes my mind.
Nobody makes me Nobody.
ooh.
Well, that's
All right,
the
first
worst roll I
stack
could
is
possibly
a
do.
15 that will not connect as you swing through. But remember, you have advantage from the vow of enmity, so
Oh, I
yeah.
do.
You do, yeah. There's no real effect I can do for vow of enemy because it's a single target type advantage. So I just put a little condition marker to note you have vow of enemy, which is like the dude with the flags. Just to remind myself that you have it on.
You just want me to roll
so
another d20 then?
Just roll another d20.
No, not 2. Why did you do that?
Shit.
Pretty solid. Okay, so
I'll
we're gonna
take it.
do the natural 20. How do you want to do it?
Oh, I'm beheading her.
Okay.
100%. From
So is her
above,
hand-
slicing down through the...
Okay. So as their hands are raised, surrendering, you look towards you. They actually they look as the eyes slowly go black. They lower their eyes and close their lids, and the sword comes through and decapitates them, dealing a total points of damage. 15 there, and then on the critical, we'll maximize the damage. We'll get it to a plus 12. So it's going to have a mark for death. I'm not going to assign any sort of damage at that point.
I'm gonna burn a divine smite on it too. Anyways, I'm
Oh,
gonna like.
even a divine
Corpse
smite. Okay,
Earth.
so even
Yep,
more
this
damage.
is this is divine.
Why don't
rash.
you do the divine smite? Because I'm curious to see how much damage you can do on the divine smite roll.
I lack permission to update actor. Fuck you. One more time. You need to successfully attack first.
No, you're good. You're good. All right, so 7. We have 15 plus the 12 plus the 7 plus the 16, so 50 total points of damage still.
Leaving a like a burning crater of a body behind. That's my goal.
All right, combat has ended.
We should leave before the dragon gets here. We can come
Do-
investigate whatever you saw later.
I'm assuming I'm not stunned anymore. Do I, given I have some understanding of the arcane, do I know why I got stunned? Or like, can I posit that Varys did something or stopped concentrating or,
I think
Spell
you
was
can
broken.
deposit that your haste ended, and it ended within a time frame that doesn't make sense.
Right. Okay, so yes, I agree. We should come back later, but we need to check on Varys. He dropped his spell. That is not like him.
I just ran down all the stairs. Now I gotta go back up?
The stairs we go. Let's go get the wizard boy.
Can I empty this bitch's pockets?
Empty this bitch's pockets. I wanted a burning pile of flesh, but can I look in her pockets?
Oh, I burnt her flesh, not her clothes.
Oh, the game paused. That's never good.
It's radiance, not fire.
Durgash is fucking here.
So, as I have it paused, the reason why I have it paused is because there's a couple things that we need to take note of. The first thing is that now that you've activated your gift.
Mm-hmm.
And as states, 1 minute that they are actually going to be dominated. So at some point, that domination will end. And there is a ranger that is down below, and there are 2 above. So I'm pausing it because I want to know what exactly you're all doing about that. If this dominate ends, they could very well end it and come and attack you, and we're in combat. So I need to know what it is that we're doing.
Maldor's assumption is that by dominating them and forcing them to see who Trillia really was, that maybe they have a chance to break out of it like Thanos did. So he's going to leave them alone unless they attack, and
Okay.
then we'll kill him. But
Okay. You're going to leave them alone. And then, Lucar, you're deciding to loot the body.
Yeah.
And then Thanos, Matigan, and Maldor, you're going upstairs.
yeah,
Mhm.
embarrassed.
Yeah, I'm angry enough. It's not enough to kill this bitch. I gotta rob her too.
I mean, that seems fair.
She fucked you up, so I don't even blame you.
Did she fuck him up, or the
and-
person that pushed her through the illusion, the one that fucked him up?
You mean the person that had no idea they were stuck in an illusion?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. Unintended
I don't
consequences
hold
of
it
your
against-
actions are still your action.
At least he didn't push him down a hole.
True.
Also, like, how the fuck would I supposed to know it was actually like a prison that if I moved out of it, I would fucking die? Like, I don't know.
That's what makes it nasty.
Yeah, I don't. I probably still don't even know that's what it was.
You technically didn't have a choice. I tackled you.
Yeah, he made that choice for you.
Oh, hey, it's that room. I didn't ever actually come up here last time. Interesting.
Okay, so Lucar, you're looting the body. And
Yes.
as you loot the body, you notice that there are numerous amounts of little bonework and things that are tattooed and rung, held on, right, from strings and things. And as you loot the body, you're kind of shifting through the pockets, and you're negotiating. And there is this cloud, purplish energy, begins to wisp like smoke from the various runes on the skin of the flesh. Begins to fill the space. As it happens, the cloud and the fumes begin to surround you. It's unclear what has happened at this time. There's no saving throw. You then continue to rifle through the pockets. You find a blackened metallic key. That is a little ornate in its design on the end, with a few of the teeth in sharp spikes. Pocket the key. There are no other material possessions on the creature's body. The creature has no jewelry. There's no rings, no. All the materials that are upon them are quite natural in their way, how they're designed. Creature showcases also that they are not exactly in the best of nourishment conditions. It's unclear as to why that is. While
What you're
you're
saying is she's
looting,
an ugly bitch.
while you're looting the body, the ranger behind you is no longer dominating. They look towards you and they simply walk up behind you. They stand and they just stare at you. The rest of you, you're passing by the ground level. You're passing by the numerous amounts of bodies that you've slain. You hear the voice of a ranger from outside. They didn't go this way, and then they stop and they pause. The other turns in response. Prior to responding, they stop and they pause. And you continue to pass by, noting that their charm is most likely, their dominate, most likely over. The minute surpasses. We come to the second floor. Come to the rest of you all. Now, detect thoughts, Hunter's Mark, those are still viable to be on, I believe. Tamper with
For a
them.
little bit, yeah.
Yeah, with that,
Mhm.
after the minute or so, as you hustle yourselves up the staircase. Game is now unpaused. Stephen, do not move your token. And do not act yet. We're going to continue with the scene of them here in the keep on the second floor.
Roger.
Okay. Erwin, you see as Willow is enacted different ways. The spell. What are you doing?
I'm gonna punch Varys.
Mm.
Go ahead and make an attack roll against them. You can add. You can just do your basic weapon here just for the attack roll. So whatever.
I was just with the weapon or an unarmed strike.
You can swing if you have unarmed strike in your character sheet. Go ahead.
Yep. Yes.
One. You see his Varys dodges out of the way of it. Snickers from the voice of the creature. Now, don't do something so foolish. You wouldn't want to batter the beautiful face of your friend. Voice then comes through into your mind, Varys. Wouldn't you like to know?
Can I do anything?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, as if you would know.
Oh. My coven knows many secrets. We, natural and primal magic. You would be very wise to trust this power.
Why should I trust you?
As I have not simply killed you or your friend. That is not our way.
Really know what to do. I think
This
he's
point,
torn.
the three of
Are we
you
free to-
have come
Yeah, I
up.
was gonna say.
You're free to move. Erwin, you're free to act as well. Steven, you're still paused.
I would shout, something has possessed the both of us, but it is now attached to Varys. I don't know what else to do.
Do you not know restoration magic?
I sensed when we were looking through the Thanos' memories, I recognized, because of the language, her runes, that they were protecting her from this kind of a thing, was the sense I got.
That's right.
So, Maldor is going to telepathically link with Erwin and speak into his mind so that the spirit can't hear. And he's just going to tell him, there are ways to protect oneself from this. There is a way to reverse it. She knew how. The marks were on her body. You are going to need Varys to figure it out. And then I'm going to grapple Varys.
Okay. Varys under control. They do not resist the grapple.
He's going to lift him up by the throat and pin him to the wall. And he's going to stare straight in his eyes and go, "This boy is weak and pathetic. I will hold him in place and you will have nowhere to go. If you want real power, if you want to accomplish something, then take me."
The voice rings out from the creature. I will have nothing to do with you. There is powerful arcane this one weaves. I like it. They will be necessary for me to return.
Turn where?
To my home. To the Feywild.
Hey guys, I don't mean to interrupt, and I understand we got a situation going on, So our situation's gonna get a lot worse if we don't get the fuck out of here. So if she's not leaving, and she's just chilling in there and not harming them or anything, let's just get them the fuck out of here, and we can figure this out after. Because if Grugash gets here and all this is going down, we are fucked. Because he's the one that has the black gem.
Good point.
Oh. Do I know where Varys keeps his black gem? Is it still on your necklace thing that you had?
It's in my pocket. I mean, Varys has pulled it out a bunch of times, so I would imagine you've seen him pull it out, but I don't know. That would be up to Michael.
I mean, it's not up to me. It's up to you where it's at. I mean, I can't.
Oh, I mean, yeah, just keep it on me because, like, especially in the marshes, in case I need it. So it's in my pocket.
I would like to, while Maldor's holding him up, then reach for his hand and just kind of shove it in his pocket. Varys, focus on the stone. Your mind is stronger than hers. Kind of hoping that it'll protect his mind the way that it protected mine.
So
Since we got
silly you
here.
are. To think that trinket can be of any use. Or just reach into the pocket, guided by the hand, pulling out the stone, clutching it. Voice goes into your mind. To slay Grugash, you will need my help. I will give you power. We will work together, you and I.
No offense, but I don't like having another voice in my head.
But then we will talk after. Is this a deal?
You'll give me control?
I will give you control and I will give you power. In exchange, you will help me return home.
And you want to go home to the Feywild?
My coven is from the bogs of Thilka, outside of the Autumn Vale. Yes.
We have a deal.
Voice leaves you.
Did I pick any of that up with detect thoughts?
You can get surface thoughts from Varys.
Yeah,
Conversations.
I wasn't
sorts.
digging or anything.
I would say there potentially was some you could overhear in the muddleness of the conversation, and their reckoning of their own thoughts between themselves.
I think once Varys comes out of it, he's like, okay, what's the plan? We fighting Grugash now, or we leaving?
I vote for run.
We're getting the fuck out of here.
Oh, you yourself.
Yes, for now.
I look
Alright,
at
cool.
Varys and I'm like, "You sure you're good?" And I'm like, "I'm in a boxing stance, ready to throw another punch."
It's fine. Let's go.
All right, we need to leave swiftly.
So-
I will put Varys down.
Okay. Put Varys down. I'm going to have it paused because I have people moving around. Okay, we're now going to come to Steven. Steven, everyone else is up, but the forces is paused, okay? Do not move your tokens, please. I have to be on this scene. So, Lucar, this ranger has come up to you. They've put their bow away. As they do, they look and they kneel at your feet. Two other rangers wounded. They begin to funnel themselves into a column, kneeling down.
My screen just went gray.
You're gonna have to do a refresh then.
Okay, I would just telepathically reach out into their minds and tell them that the source of their nightmares is dead. And ask if they if their minds are free, I guess.
The one voice back, telepathy, the one that is closest. Princess Trillia.
Oh fuck.
Oh, we're gonna have to kill Lucar. This is gonna be great.
Could y'all stop getting the brain STDs?
Okay.
We
I'm just
serve
gonna
you as your humble servants. Guide us, Princess Trillia.
I'm just gonna say, like, under my breath to myself, I don't have time for this. And I'm going to ask them if there is another way out of this place to avoid Grugash.
There is one way that Princess Trillia would go. To commune with the High King. It is that way.
Okay. Thank you. Wait here. I'll be right back.
We will wait for your return.
Then I'm going to go up to the main entrance where I assume the rest are going to be and wait for them.
Okay.
/ reach out to someone's mind if I can within 30 feet, but I don't think anybody will be there.
All right, so Lucar, you are going to be here in the courtyard, the entrance of the fortress. By the time Thanos comes downstairs,
Yep.
Thanos, you will be here. Everyone now is free to move their tokens.
Cool. So I'm going to Thanos, I'm just going to say, well, apparently I'm the princess now. And my new servants have said that Lady Trillia used to use a passageway down below to commune with the High King after I asked them if there was another way to get out of here and avoid Grugash.
Does hearing the
Which-
name the High King trigger anything for me?
Just someone that they've spoken to. You have never met the High King. Just in reference that the princess would meet.
Could it be Orcivis?
It could, but we should investigate later. We need to leave, like, yesterday.
Could I real quick make an investigation check to see what the hell I drank or get any hint of what kind of potion it was, or just find the?
You're proficient with alchemist tools?
I
Spells?
don't think so.
Okay, roll an Arcana check. $16. You believe it is a plant-based potion, something that will help in preserving your life, but it's unclear what the actual concoction is.
Okay.
That could be worse.
And I'm not one to loot, so I will exit.
Okay, wow. No looting. No one's looting. Oh my goodness.
I mean, I
We
want
don't
to
have
do,
time,
but we don't
man.
have time.
We gotta go. Yeah. As we're walking out, Maldor's just gonna telepathically talk to Varys and just be like, "We will fix this."
I'm gonna yell down the stairs and ask for my new servants to come.
Why?
He's now the god of the Rangers.
Why?
Hey, they could help
Why?
against Grugash.
You're going to go to the stairs and ask for the Rangers?
I just yell for them to come up. Yeah. And as soon as they get to the top, I'm going to instruct them that they are to protect my friends with their lives. My new friends.
But yeah,
We just murder them.
responding to what Maldor said.
So, Lucaris, you
think-
tell them to protect your friends. Turning your around, the Rangers begin to funnel up. They stare in the direction of Ferris and Irwin. They grab their bows immediately. Princess, get back! I need everyone to roll initiatives.
God damn it.
Let's be more specific about who your friends were. What were you saying, Barons?
Oh, well, I don't think I would have time.
That's fair.
All right, very sure up. Hold on, wait. You're not up. That one's up, sorry. That one rolled higher than you. This one is going to stare down the hallway and attempt to fire a new Varus.
I'm gonna shield it.
First arrow is a natural 20. Deals 20 points of piercing damage coming straight through your shield, aimed at your heart. Second arrow is going to be a miss, and then the Dread Ambusher is the third shot. 25 is not going to hit because there's also cover here that's being provided to you. Shield in combination is going to negate that arrow. That's the end of that creature's turn. Sir Will, you're up. Your shield has ended. You have an arrow almost near your heart, dead center of the chest.
So after everything that's happened, Varus has fucking had it. And he's gonna like slam his staff on the stone floor and say, "Enough!" and cast Blight on the ranger in the front.
Oh boy.
Ranger. God
Creature is
damn, that
going to
damage
fail.
roll.
Takes 40 points of necrotic damage, meaning it's a Wraith and Pestilence, pulling themselves back and then falling upon the ground dead.
Then I'm gonna try to get out of the way of these guys and lean against the wall.
Okay.
And that'll be it for me.
Erwin, you're up next.
I'm just gonna be like, well, here we go again, and I'm just gonna target the first one I can see and cast Guiding Bolt.
Perfect Guiding Bolt, 27 will hit. 15 points of radiant damage dealt. Creature's still alive as it lands, chipping away at their shoulder, incinerating with radiant damage.
And then I'm just gonna stand guard. Try to protect everybody.
Okay.
You
All right,
guys
Tegan,
are
you're
blocking
next.
the doorways.
Aren't you the one blocking the doorway?
Yeah, I haven't had a turn yet. He just walked to block me from murdering the other.
You step here. See those idiots. Just gonna target the one in the front and Vicious Mockery.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, can you just leave us alone? It's like she's already dead.
You're going to fail with the 7. Takes 4 points of psychic damage and is mocked. You defile the undead! You shall not harm my princess! Ugh.
And that'll be it for him.
Ending turn. Now come to the one that is mocked here. They are going to attempt to fire on Erwin, who unleashed the guiding bolt. 18 is going to hit you with disadvantage. You take 7 points of piercing damage off the first arrow. Actually, what's your AC here? Hold on. Oh, it is 18. Okay, so that's not going to hit because of cover. So let me go ahead and pump out another arrow here. It's going to miss, and then the Dread Ambusher. That is also going to miss with the cover. Okay. Those are firing arrows off at you. Mock to disadvantage the first one. They're kind of just sending arrows out, but they're being mindful not to attack Lucar. Lucar is quite a bit of cover in front of them. And that's not going to land any of those shots penetrating True Shield. Maldur next.
So did we at any point during this dust up notice, hear that they were taking orders from Lucar?
I don't think that you can understand that they take orders from Lucar, except for the fact that Lucar had come upstairs and said, hey, don't harm, these are my friends, right? And then Lucar's
Right.
like walking down the corridor, and then they're coming up, and all of a sudden they're just like caught off guard, and they're just engaging.
Lucar, they're following you now. Did you tell them to stop attacking? We need to leave. He's just gonna like bully past Thanos and go outside. Like we need to get out of here. Just not go murder random rangers in the keep.
Yeah.
And then bonus action, we'll pull out the echo just in case.
Maldor's gonna die to Grugash while all this is going on.
And that'll end his turn.
All right, Lucar, you're up next.
Okay, I'm gonna push back, shoulder this one against the wall, and then lift the other one up by the neck against the wall in the back, and be like, "I command you to put down your weapons and obey me."
Okay. Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Wisdom.
23. You grab, pushing into the wall, telling them to obey. They seem to be blinded, looking at the undead, completely distracted, pulled away.
So they're not obeying me.
That is correct.
All right, I'm just gonna look over my shoulder then and say, "Go outside, leave." And then end my turn.
Okay. Thanos, you're up next.
Yeah, I'm tired of the distractions. I'm gonna walk here, I'm gonna walk here, and we're just, they're all dead. I'm sorry, guys.
That's code for Thanos wants to murder more people.
23 hits. That does 12 points of piercing necrotic damage, landing the bolt into the head after shoulder checking into the wall. Creature dies, falling forward into your body, Lucar.
Second attack at the one in the back.
14 misses.
Dreaded Ambusher Strike.
18 hits. 16 plus the d8. It'll be 24 total points. Damage lands directly into the center point of the lungs as it perched up on the wall. Gargling on blood, they're still alive.
Bonus action, hand crossbow shot.
16 hits. That does 12 points of piercing necrotic damage. The bolt lands into the head. Creature's dead.
No more distractions. We're leaving now. And, I'll actually end my turn here, so I'm not blocking the door.
Very sure.
I'm just leaving. Gonna take all my movement and then dash as well. These gates are closed, right?
They are closed.
I'll just wait at the gate.
Okay.
My turn.
All right, Erwin.
Okay. Not seeing any more of a threat. Erwin will leave. And then, yeah, probably just dash up to Varys.
Okay.
Oh man, I have like no spells. Yeah, that's it.
All right, Tegan.
Am I the only one slightly concerned that we're still in combat?
I'm very
Little bit.
concerned.
This is what happens when you call up the extra fucking backup.
20.
Gave Grugash that extra half a minute.
Seconds! It's been 6 seconds!
Going to dash. 20.
Yes.
There's my 60. And my turn.
Maldor.
Gonna run up to the gate. Is it barred? Do we need to do something in
It
order
is
to get
barred.
it open?
You both need to, in similar fashion to the metallic gate, both of you need to take your actions to remove the wooden bar. Or you can attempt to take your actions individually and climb over. There's also ladders that go up to the walkway. So you can climb and then just jump over without taking an action. 10
How
foot
high
drop.
is it?
10
oh,
foot
so
drop.
it's like it's an easy jump. Okay.
Yeah.
Forget the gate. It'll take too long. Go over the wall. Do I need to do an action to do that? Let's see.
No,
That's
it's not.
30 feet.
It's not an action per se, but you do have to ascend the ladder. So that is getting up onto the walkway. That is technically difficult terrain and requires 10 foot of movement. So that's 20 feet to use that ladder to actually get up onto the walkway. So that's what I was
Okay,
kind of
so
saying
would
is
put
that
me more like up there.
yeah, you don't necessarily like you could take an athletics check to climb over it, and it's going to be difficult terrain, right? So you're going to have to negotiate that and then get over, or you could take a dash and
Yeah.
just jump over it and just land.
Yes,
right?
yeah, I think I'm just gonna dash over.
So
and
you
jump.
just there's different options. You get to the same result, right? In a way.
So then that would get into. Well, no, it was minus 20 feet. So yeah, that'll probably be as far as you can get.
Okay.
And then I'll bring the echo. I don't know, however far I can get, like there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll end his turn.
Running turn. Lucar, you're next.
I'm just gonna let out a very loud, long sigh, and then just walk outside while lighting up some of my green.
I'm sorry, is he sighing at us?
I think he's citing the fact that I just murdered the 2 people in his hands that he was trying to command.
This man has killed everything.
We tried to
Alright.
save them. Well, you know, they had a shot.
They
then,
did.
I guess I got a dash. God damn it. I think here is where I can get. Yeah, and then I'll just end it there.
Okay. Do you end your turn still, or
Yeah, I just gotta yeah.
Oh,
just 2 or 3
fudge.
steps.
you hear the cascading of water, smashing of grass and weeds, the crushing of earth as the earth actually shakes underneath your feet. You then observe the slight gust and flight of movement as a dragon begins to appear in scene. Now this is going to be tough to do because it's going to clip with the levels. So what I'm actually going to do for the sake of this is a couple things. Because I don't know if you actually can see it per se. Let me see. Yeah, I don't think you all can see it here. So I'm going to do a couple things here. The first is I'm going to get the limiter changed on vision. And I'm going to try to bump that up to that amount so that the token artwork is not being clipped. Okay? That way it's visible. When the limiter comes through, it actually clip whatever's like, if it's not token's so large, right? It's going to just make sure the tokens is not visible at all. So you should be able to see it now. Okay? So as it comes through, it crushes the earth, smashes over top, crunches and crunches and crunches as it moves. This dragon is well over 100 feet. It's 120 feet long. It stretches itself massive and wide, blackish wings curled, rotten, the flesh, the cascading of its nostrils. Everything is turned and whole and rotten and moved. The bones shake and move at its mouth. It turns itself in positions. As it rotates, it looks in the direction of you all. And it begins to billow its mouth for breath.
I'm glad I'm inside.
Tegan, you should see that in the chat card, hopefully. It's going to come through here in just a second.
Yeah, it's just lagging.
Varys, I have you at a 24. Lucar, I have you at a 25. Now, Varys, you're going to be bumped up by Lucar's charisma. You're still in range. That's a +5 here to your saving throw. So you are going to be at a 29. Lucar is at a 25. Tegan, I have you at 18 +5. And then Erwin, I have you at a 9 +5. The only person to fail the roll is Erwin. Is that correct?
Yep. Did that automatically
Good
do
point.
my
Seems right.
advantage too? I think it did.
What it looked like.
Yep, it
Well,
has an
like,
advantage.
yeah.
Fucking nope.
So as the breath comes through, the acid bile begins to pour and breathe. As it begins to spew outwards, Varys, your flesh begins to turn to black draconic scales, forming a barrier between the acid and you. Then a voice begins to emanate into your mind, not of the creature, but of a deep and guttural voice, earthen. Run, as it echoes outwards in your mind. And then the voice of the creature in the backdrop. What was that? Confused and bewildered. As now you have two voices.
Did he say
This is gonna have
run? The first voice?
Run. As it's this
Okay.
deep and guttural, rocky voice as it emanates outwards.
Love this.
Lucar, you have a success. And as such, you're going to have 51 points of acid damage, pulling you down to 25. Tegan, you are going to take 25 points of acid damage. Erwin, you are going to take a full lot of 51 points of acid damage. As it breathes out, Grugash pulls its head back. I'm going to enjoy this. As it does, it ends its turn.
Alright,
Thanos.
cool.
You are up.
Well, just watching a whole lot of acid breath through the doorway that I couldn't even see everyone. This is great. You know, we're gonna walk out and we're going to, I guess, do Thanos things. Oh, he's that side. Okay. Bonus action. We're gonna drink. Actually, no, we're not. We're just gonna dip. Fuck that shit. We should probably continue with the plan. Get the fuck out of here. dash.
Remember the way out I told you about?
Is it a way out? It's literally just to talk to a king. We don't know that it's a way out.
You gonna outrun a dragon, bitch?
We just gotta get to the fucking the grass. That's all we gotta do.
Alright.
I mean, do you want to risk it with inside? We can risk with inside.
I'm not
We're
running
gonna-
a dragon.
If we're gonna be at this debated, then we could take a break if you all want. Figure, take some time. Take 10 minutes of break to kind of calculate your thoughts and figure out what you're gonna do. I think that's probably wise. Everyone agrees to that?
Plan.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes
Okay,
sense.
Yeah.
sounds like a pretty good fucking plan. Since I don't think splitting the party would be a good idea right now.
Not at this
But that's
juncture.
what y'all want. So,
You,
all right. Okay. So, in the time that you had spent upstairs negotiating that, and also the time spent below, the time in combat, all of this has added up. This dragon is incredibly fast in the water, and it has revealed itself as such, pulling itself through, coming to the rescue, to the aid, something. Senses of perception, without anybody stealthing, they left the keep, just dashing and moving. Dragon is upon you. It's up to you what you wish to do. Fighting the dragon with exhausted resources, running away in some direction. So, who knows? For the break, hopefully you can figure that out. Come to some group decision, because it's the time. This is definitely a time. If there's ever a time to meta anything, now's the time. So,
this is called DM dropping carrot.
yeah.
I
So
think
we're
Aldor being over the wall answers that for us, though.
we're gonna take not
I can
necessarily.
get back pretty easily.
Yeah, you get back pretty easily. Look at the turn order
I think
here.
I can actually flat foot jump over that wall if I had to. 'cause
You
those
you
dumb
could.
boots.
You have a I mean, there's also
Oh, yeah.
so you got to think about items that Meldor has. Inventory wise, they have the boots of striding and springing, so they actually probably could just jump over it with the boots.
Assuming those still work after,
They're not broken that I know of.
So, so you also think of turn order, right? You got Varys, Irwin, right? Capable, Tegan even, right? You're all capable of opening that gate altogether and then doing your movements as well. So there's possibilities here that you're able to open that gate from Eldor and then retreat in either through the gate or to anotherwhere. Use the building as well. Use the terrain, right? Get shoot acid through a building. So
I can also just bamf to the Echo, who's on the wall still.
you could also switch places to the Echo. So these are all things I need you to talk about, because if you do not talk about them and you do not come to some decision here, this could potentially be a TPK situation. So I don't try to throw that word around to scare you. I just use it as something to know, because you all are exhausted. Your resources are depleted. You would need to have full resources to even have a chance to defeat this dragon. So that is something to give you all. If you're watching the stream, thanks so much. We really appreciate it. So we're going to take a 10 to 15 minute break here, most likely 15 minutes for the party to get refreshments, use the restrooms, and then also talk about what they're going to do next. So hopefully you need to watch us, and we'll see when we get back. So we'll be probably about 1:10ish. So bye.
Chat.
All right, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking with us. So we have a plan in mind. They decide with their during the break time. Looks like we're going to be having a dip situation here, passing back in the direction of the keep, actually, and taking shelter in Sanctuary. Eventually using another avenue of approach here. So we're going to go ahead and play our combat music. Thanos, you're up.
Hey guys, Lucar mentioned that there's another alleyway downstairs. We should go that way. I'm going to dash back inside the building.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll end my turn here.
All right, so ending turn. Upon the end of your turn, Grugash is going to look in the direction of all of you. As they do, they begin to let out a slight roar upwards into the air. That begins to quake the air around as the roar emanates outwards. It's something they would have done on their turn. But giving the benefit, I need everyone to please make wisdom saves. This is frightful presence. Dragon is emanating.
All of us except for Erwin have helms, right?
It's correct. So the helm will give you advantage against frightful presence. So if you have a helm, you can roll with advantage.
How do you make it roll with advantage?
Hold
again?
down Alt.
I couldn't remember. I'm sorry.
This, my friends, is why you smoked the halfling leaf. You too can roll a 34.
Oof.
All right, so with
You
the
would-
aura of protection, yeah, I know. I'm manually
Okay.
adding it in. Yeah. With the aura of protection here, it looks like everyone is going to save on the frightful presence, so no one is impacted by the frightful presence. At the same time as that begins to let outwards, the creature is going to expend some of its legendary action points, and it is going to flutter with its wings, moving. I'm going to go ahead and shear the building off. It's 5, 10, get there. Come down, just getting a little bit of gust. It kind of hooks its wings up and just gusts forward, moving forward, and then it begins to land its descent and crashes right down within threat range. I'm also going to adjust the scale of this token just a little bit so you can observe a little bit more in the grand glory of how large the dragon is. Since it wasn't scaled when I dropped it down, but make sure it's representative. So, Irma, technically you're in attack range of the creature. You can see the boxes represents itself. Dragon is massive. This is our gargantuan plus size creature. So as it kind of does, it's going to gust into the air with its legendary action and then kind of crashes downwards with its flight speed, okay? That's one of its legendary actions it has. Now, there's no actual attack it does at the present moment. It's really just getting itself closer to you all for its legendary action, spending that. So Varys, we now come to you.
Misty step over there.
Hold on.
Oh, it took my token.
Yeah, wait. It happens sometimes with the Misty Step. There you go. If I put two of you, I've noticed, I found the trick. If I put you over yourself, somehow your original self comes back. So go ahead. Should be good now.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's super funny.
And then I'm gonna use my action to dash down.
Okay.
And that'll be it for me.
Okay. So, Varys, at the end of your turn, we now come to Grugash. Grugash is going to be taking a legendary action here for a tail strike. His tail is coming forth for a large wallop. As it does, its tail is going to come in the direction of Lucar with a smack. 30 hits into you, Lucar. You take 15 points of bludgeoning damage as it smashes down, crumpling the palisade wall in the wake. The gate is now smashed and opened. Everyone, it's your turn.
Okay. Yeah, fuck this. I'm out. I'm running away.
Are you taking a disengage?
No.
Okay, the creature will take attack of opportunity against you.
Yep.
Okay, it's going to aim for its mouth to swing through. 20 is going to cascade into you, smashing through the earth as it picks its mouth, lowers itself down, grazing through the earth with acid teeth and bile. It begins to pick itself up and take 22 points of piercing and acid damage.
Yep. We're going inside.
Okay.
30 there. Yeah, I'm just gonna dash in.
Okay.
As far as I can.
All right.
Bonus action. I have to heal myself. So. I'm just gonna healing word myself.
Okay. Hover over yourself, press T for target, and
Yep.
then click healing word, and it should heal. I wonder if it does does it do twice as? Do you get the benefit of the heal with your thing, right? Yeah, 11.
I should, yeah.
Oh, there it goes. Love it.
Alright.
All right, Tegan, you're up next.
Okay. I'm going to... Holy shit, that's a lot of distances on my screen right there. I'm gonna just grab Lucar and Dimension Door into the basement.
Okay, so you grab Lucar, you begin to activate your magic to invoke, and as you do that, you feel blue gemstone beginning to glow. The dimension door direction of that basement. Go ahead and remove your tokens from this board here. Is there a particular place in the dungeon?
Probably just right in the middle of the room, like a couple feet from where the Trillia's body is.
Okay. Pull you both to scene. Okay, you should be both pulled to the scene now. Hopefully. Did I not? Yeah. Okay, there you go. So don't move your tokens. Quite yet. We're going to keep with the turn order here. Tegan, anything else after your action?
No, I think I'm just gonna say, alright, where the fuck are we going?
Okay.
And that'll be it for me.
Okay. I'll end your turn here on the turn tracker. Maldor, you're up next.
Alright. Don't worry, guys, I got this. Dude is gonna take his movement. Then we're gonna bonus action swap places.
1, 2, 3.
15 feet left. Take my action to dash. 30. The echo is gone now.
Okay.
That was action, bonus action, movement. That'll end his turn.
All right, Lucar, we now come to you. Are you doing anything in the dungeon? I'm not sure you can move right now. I'll have to put you under the turn tracker or remove your tokens from the previous board. Actually, I'm gonna try.
Yeah, I was just gonna move towards the location that the people pointed towards.
Oh. Give me 1 second. I gotta refresh. I tried deleting your 2 tokens from the other map to take you off the turn tracker, and it was freaking out because it reverted.
I mean, I'm already borked, so I could imagine I could get borked enough.
I don't think you're good. I don't think you're good.
I'm still borked. Like I can't open my character sheet without selecting my token first,
Okay.
or see like all of the stuff, like my utility and all that shit. It's
Okay. So
weird.
you're still bored. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So try moving your token now. Does it still say yeah? Because you're still okay. 1 second. Go ahead.
Okay, feeling like time is of the essence, I'm going to dash.
Okay.
I assume it's back this way.
So disappearing into the storeroom here, you can observe that the storeroom has boxes and crates and barrels and things. Again, as I described prior to, the cave walls here in the caverns begin to form. You hear a slight drip emanating, sound of drips emanating from the west as it rounds the corner proceeding north in this tunnel that is starting to form. Anything else on your turn?
Nope.
Okay, so Thanos, you're next.
Yeah, we're just gonna push through Maldor, so that's 10, 15, 25, 30, dash, 5. Oh, and Bear's on the stairs.
Okay.
Yeah, should still have enough. To get downstairs.
Okay. Give me 1 second. No, fatigue.
But, Alright, and then I will get out of everyone's way and not create a blockage. 2. Gift of Orcivus. Of course, it decided it wanted to not put it up, so I'm just going to teleport there.
Okay.
And end of my turn.
All right. Ending turn. Varys, don't move your token here. I'm actually going to pull you to this scene because this is where you're going to be at the staircase. And we already put you on the board and got the initiative on. What do we do?
I'm just walking down.
Okay.
I'll probably dash.
Okay.
End my turn.
All right. Cross ending turn. Erwin, you're up next.
Yep, going downstairs.
Okay. So at this point, I'm actually going to pause and end the combat. There's a couple reasons why I'm doing this. A couple reasons is that you're actually ahead in the initiative order, so you're all going to be able to funnel downstairs. In addition, there's something that is going to be happening above.
Man's gonna crumple the building on top of us.
All right. So Maldor, I'm gonna put there. Erwin, I'm gonna pull you to scene here. And this combat. Maldor, you are going to be here on your run as you're proceeding for the staircase. The building begins to shake violently. As the building begins to shake violently, you hear the voice of Grugash ringing outwards. Troska. And as the building begins to shake violently, you disappear underneath. The entire of the basement at this point begins to shake and move and writhe. Rubble begins to cascade down. Scene is active. And initiative is not.
Okay.
Tegan, I think your friend is here. I don't know if that makes things better or worse.
Lucar, you find a portcullis gate with a metallic lever sat and grooved and ingrained into the stonework. adjacent to it.
I won't push that lever.
Pull the lever, and as such, the Thorgulus Gate opens, going downwards on its own.
Did we rest before we?
We probably should take a short rest.
In a place with rubble coming down around us? Are you people fucking crazy?
I'm gonna take this time to cast Cure Wounds on myself now that I can breathe
Yeah, I
for a
guess you're right.
second. I'll cast
I
that
don't-
4th level.
I hate not having a choice, but we really don't have a choice.
Maldor, you come to a wrought iron metallic door in front of you. It has a key slot and a ring handle. Pull the handle and the door is locked. The rubble begins to shake violently as it quakes, and everyone roll dexterity saving throws.
Damn Thanos.
Yeah, I rolled like shit.
Kind of all did.
If I don't get crushed by rubble here, my screen was a little buggy, and whatever direction they took off, I'll take it off after them.
Yeah, I'm assuming that everyone is proceeding where Lucar had gone. Erwin, I'm assuming that you're going there on the run as well as casting the spell. The only person that I'm not assuming at this point is Maldor, because Maldor, you have gone the opposite direction as your party.
Yeah, I didn't see where he went. I assumed he went further. Than me.
So, hey, Maldor, if you want to retcon that, you can. If you want to follow where your party is going, that's up to you.
No, I mean I think he didn't know, so that's will
up to you.
double back now that he's hit a dead end. Yeah, try and catch up with him.
Okay. Maldor, you are going to take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as the rubble and debris are falling around you and you're having to duck, dive, and weave. Thanos, you're in a similar boat. Take 6 points of bludgeoning damage. Prompts you for concentration and Hunter's Mark. And Erwin, you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as the rock and the debris is tumbling around you. The game is unpaused. For those that are placed... Yes?
Sorry, can I assume that I was far enough ahead of everybody when I got here that when I waited for them I could lay on hands?
We're going to come to that. So I'm just assuming that you're kind of pressing into the tunnel at this point. I'm not going to transition you to another map. Here, you're just pressing into the tunnel, and everyone that's putting their tokens near that gate is pretty much just going to be in a formation and then go into that tunnel. I'm going to describe that tunnel here in just a second. Prior to that, Maldor, we can come to you. So you're coming in, you see rubble smashing downwards around the tables. They're crashing down to the chairs. The earth is like shaking. It's like an earthquake right now. Okay, so this is literally like the ground is being liquefied, and there's just massive amounts of crashing and smashing that is happening. You can hear the sounds echoing down from the stairwell. Then there's the sound of like a cackling lightning, and there's this massive amounts of gorge, shearing of metal, gusts of wings, roars of dragons. Maldor, you are proceeding in the direction of the tunnel.
I assume. Yeah,
Okay.
there they are.
All right. So at this point, I'm now going to have us move off. We're going to come to this map just to pull us away.
All the good shit was in that other room. Y'all missed it.
No, the car has the key for it. Presumably, anyway.
So as you proceed further into the tunnel, the quaking and the debris is less and less. You're kind of in a full sprint to try to get out of the way. And the reason why is because vines and tendrils, slightly thorned, are encasing the tunnel in a radius of roughly 5 to 10 feet. Varies. The dripples of acid fall through the vines and things and form tiny little streams and sorts. You have to kind of move around them. The vines are also writhing, moving. Some of them are flowering with these greenish, purplish flowers every so often. It's almost a stabilization to a tunnel that extends. It also descends into the depths, most likely underneath Grapple Lake. The must and the smells of damp and mold are thick, and there's just a smog that sits on the floor of this place. The shaking and rubble eventually stop after near an hour of your run to get out of the area that perhaps will be caved in, destroyed, dismantled. It's unclear of what has particularly transpired, what exactly has happened. And so now you're at a point of lull, where you stop and slow yourselves down, where you reach any further exhaustion. Breathe, taking in the air is okay. And it's just the slight sizzle, the acid sometimes kind of pours through. None of which will harm you. Not plenty of areas you can stand where the acid isn't falling. It's just that sound that echoes through the tunnel. The vines continue to writhe and move. You are alone.
If the sounds have come to a stop and we're kind of just in pace right now, still moving, I would definitely bring out the blue stone and be like, "You good?"
Feel a connection begin to grow. Voice of Trescal. I am good.
One more time? I kind of lag, sorry.
I am good, Harold.
Thank you for the assist there. I don't know if we get away with them without you.
You are most welcome.
I can promise you this, though. The next time we encounter him, we'll be ready.
Rugash has grown far greater in power than the last time I had faced them at the Wizard's Keep. I and them have mutually fled in contest. They have went into the depths of the lake. I was on way to rescue my children.
Annihilate them.
Like, remember how I told you that the dude was gonna send him back with the people? Like, that was already taken care of.
You do not know the Belloc like I do.
Okay.
It will take many days to recover my injuries. You have time to convince me. Luck. Voice leaves you.
Well, good news and bad news. Anybody care to ask which one they want first?
Is any of it really good at this point? I mean, we're alive.
Well, that's a subject of personal opinion, but in my eyes, I have good and bad news. I'll just start off with the good news. Tresgal was able to drive him off, but the bad news is that they came to sort of a standstill, which means Grugash is maybe more powerful than we anticipated. But yeah. So the other thing is, you remember earlier when like I was talking to Grugash, or not Grugash, excuse me, Tresgol, and was acting like something had happened, but then I, was a little shady. He's still going to Lathan, even though Gurez kind of agreed to the whole situation. And I don't know what to do about that. I don't think it's going to end well. He said he is delaying his endeavors because of his rescuing us. But yeah, that's a thing.
That is quite unfortunate for the people of Alathan. Suppose we have more pressing problems at the moment. Do you think this tunnel leads to the dragon's lair? We appear to be under the lake.
I hope not. I'm gonna pull out the key from my pocket and be like, by the way, I have this.
Oh, I
And
think I
something
found.
happened, I think, when I took it. Because I'm the princess now.
What?
I'm gonna, like, puff up my chest and preen my scales.
There's some piece of Lucar that really enjoys being the pretty, pretty princess.
The pretty princess.
What do you mean something happened?
Well, some black smoke that I don't know, breathed in maybe or something. I feel the same. But those poor rangers that we had to kill said I was their princess. And were obeying me
You think it's because of the key?
until they didn't. Mm. They pointed towards that corridor, but they didn't point towards this exact tunnel.
Found a door on the other end of the basement that had a lock. Might be where that goes.
Was it on the other end of the basement, toward like away from
No,
her?
it was on the eastern end.
They pointed specifically to this passageway, or this corner of the basement, and said that this was where Lady Trulia would go to have her meetings with the High King.
I suspect the other way, and probably the key, is where she stole her precious valuables she mentioned. And possibly that when I was trying to search for her, I connected with her mind, and I found that she had possession of some artifact, an obelisk. Something that she hid from both Orsiphus and Grugash. She was not seemingly certain of what it would do, only that it was very powerful, and she'd never been able to activate it, but thought that we would be able to.
You said Tresgol said that Grugash fled?
It was more like a mutual understanding. They kind of beat each other up, and they both kind of left. Almost as if it was a standstill.
Well, we could send the stealthy one to scout this tunnel.
Also, he had returned to his lair. That is what Tresgol had predicted.
If you'll permit me, I'd like to search your mind to see if Trilia has found her way there.
Mine?
Yes.
Yeah, at your own risk.
I'm gonna burn 3 sorcery points to get back a 2nd level spell slot.
Okay.
And then cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay.
and try to dive deep into his mind, looking for any trace of Trillia or some possessing entity.
I will not resist, but I can't promise my mind will not be distracted because I am high.
All right, so you're not resisting to probe further. Tech thoughts ringing outwards. Eventually, you feel some strange power being held. A swirl of energy of sorts. The voice of Trillia rings out. Oh, hello.
Just what do you think you're doing in there?
As what I have done for centuries. Biding my time.
You hid the obelisk from your masters. Why?
The obelisk is of something great in power. It has a language inscribed upon it that I have deciphered. It relates to time. Well beyond power. And it speaks of a fragment of a deity of order. The obelisk feels and breathes of this magic, that which I could feel in all of you. My gifts and talents are not of the arcane, but of the primal magic, a weave of the natural. I was a sister of the Blight Coven in the bogs of Thilka. You can tell I found refuge in the marshes that were, well, they were redwoods at the time. As a Fae, I was recognized as a neutral party to the Fixians. I still conducted my experiment. I found allies of my old coven, but I was cast out.
How particularly nasty does one have to be cast out of a coven of hags?
One that has seeking of greater power. The Blight Coven. They simple. They worshipped a deity. They were attacked and hunted by the Freljord. And they were an internal struggle and war, the devoting of themselves to the Blight Queen. I was not. It's as simple as that.
Can I hear this whole conversation happening inside of my
Nope.
head?
You can't.
Fucking weird.
So you what? Sold yourself into the service of Osiris in exchange for power?
Sold myself. Or like bent the knee. Osiris commanded that I kill my sisters, that I would serve their child Grugash. And using some of my talents as a vessel, to entice and charm the Ivra, rangers that were rebellious and fought back, and hunt the Salinar, they that would wreak havoc, Thixians that would stop and hinder the plans of their child. So I killed my sister. But what is dead is not truly dead. Not if you know what to do with it. I captured their spirits before they returned to the cycle. And they've been giving me guidance and power ever since. I've treated them comfortably.
So that is what has taken residence in my wizard friend, one of your dead sisters.
One was released. You do not have the charms to be able to break through that spirit in its possession. Which one is it? There are many.
I don't know. How do we remove it?
Oh. Any help in removing that most likely was in my chamber.
That may be inconveniently buried underneath some rubble at the moment.
And you can see why I bent the knee.
Yes. Cowardice.
Oh, on the contrary, my dear. Survival.
And yet here you are dead. A
Not
passenger in another's body.
Truly. Even if you get rid of me, I will return to the cycle. And I will be born anew.
I have recently learned that I shall live a very long time. And it would be my great pleasure to continuously kill you again.
I do not seek the same revenge.
We will find a way to remove you from my friends, you and your sisters. Scatter you to the universe.
Good luck. In the meantime, you should tell your friend that they carry with them quite a bit of baggage. You wouldn't want anything to happen to them.
Your threats do you no service. You remember I have tasted your fear.
Your threats are in the physical. You have no power here.
I have walked many planes, witch. There is no length to which I would not go to remove you from one that I care for.
I would love to see you beheading your friend. At the death of you, I do not seek nor your friend. So do it what you will. Find your ways, and I will bide my time. We will see what happens.
The less of an inconvenience you make yourself, the longer it may take for us to decide to remove you.
You do not see me intervene.
And he'll sever the connection at that point.
Okay.
It's probably about over anyway.
Yeah, 1 minute only. Right?
Yeah. Well, it seems that you and Varus both have passengers. Yours is Lady Trillia. Varus, you seem to be carrying one of her sisters that she murdered consequently.
Yeah, I gathered that. Not that she killed her, but that they came from the Feywild and they seek to return to the Feywild.
When
So-
when Maldor tells me that, can I with my telepathy can I detect her like in there? Can I communicate with her?
You're gonna try to talk in your mind to her?
I mean, yeah, just like like reach out, see if I can sense her, and if I do, I'm just gonna be like, "Fucking damn it," and then I'm gonna light up.
No response. Sense anything.
All right, well, I'm gonna do it anyways.
Okay.
She seemed
Although-
less concerned with interfering with our duties and more escape. Just a place to hide until she finds a way out. It may not be a pressing problem at the moment.
The voice in my head wants to return to the Feywild, which kind of aligns with what we want to do here. We want to get rid of the Shadowfell's influence. So, for now, I'll just deal with it. Not much else I can do.
Just so you know, Brendan, your mic is hot. Sometimes it keeps going bup, 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 bup.
Though, regardless, we are in quite the situation. And I need time to think. And I'll just kind of sit against the wall with my head in my spell book.
Okay.
Should we send Thanos ahead a little bit to scout as the stealthy one, and Maldor and I go backwards and see if what we can find?
I need to see if we can get back through the rubble.
Yeah, just see how collapsed it is and everything that's going on there.
Yeah, I'm fine to do that.
Just so that we know whether or not we're going towards the Dragon's Lair.
I mean, we're under the lake and we know that's where it is. Whether or not it's
Yeah.
a direct path, we're definitely going towards it.
Yeah.
So how far is one scouting?
I mean, it sounds like at some point we're gonna want. How far do we travel? About an hour, you said.
That's correct.
Knowing that it would take them 3 hours to kind of get there and get back, I'd probably go the same in the other direction.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna take a short rest.
I'll do that as well.
So taking an hour then to kind of scout and venture ahead, the rest of you all to getting a short rest in, you are moving through, and it becomes quite apparent that there is a movement of the vines and things in response to your own movement, as if they're sensing and probing, detecting. You're moving at a quickened pace through this natural element at this point. It shifts and swerves at oftentimes and then dips, still descends in a general sense. After the hour of travel, you have yet to reach any sort of destination. But the smells of mold and must are stronger and stronger still. The sounds of the drips get ever so more prevalent. The less earth and stone there is, perhaps suggesting that you are no longer in a tunnel of rock, actually in a tunnel of vine and thorn that seem to suppress themselves in the pressure of water.
Okay. Yeah, I'd turn around to go meet up with them and let them know.
Turn back around
of-
to go back to your party. Just gonna advance the time clock to end some effects on tokens. You retreat.
I was gonna
back.
expend. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna expend 30 points of lay on hands, by the way, but I can't access my character sheet when I don't have.
Yeah, I think at this point,
Monday.com.
I clicked a link in my that was dumb. I have bookmarks on my thing, and I accidentally clicked one of the links. Turned on my Foundry went to something random. Okay, give me a second. What I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to bring your character completely into a compendia. I'm going to unlock that compendia here, and I'm going to see if I can't bring you in underneath a different. So give me 1 second. Like I'm actually gonna wipe your actual stuff completely from. The player.
Experiment taught me, Daddy.
Yeah, I'm experimenting. All right, how about now?
I'm not getting any errors now, but I also.
Can you press C and open up a character sheet?
Nope. But if I go to actors and player characters, I can.
Actors and player characters, it does open up.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna do that as I'm actually gonna delete the map. We're having the bugs on. I'm going to remove that map completely as well. So hopefully that removing that map in addition to getting your thing here, as long as you can get your character sheet and there's no errors, that's good.
Nope.
Okay.
No errors.
Okay. Should be good then.
Oh.
In some fashion.
Find out.
So after the try, you can put the lay on hands under yourself, get your short rest here. So it's been about a couple hours, right? Because you have to return Thanos and maybe quicken the pace a little bit more, cutting down the time, right? Because you were stealthing in a way, naturally in the element here. Eventually return to your party. You see them kind of sitting every so often, right in this tunnel, getting some of the spacing out of the drips of acid, vines of thorns around them, moving. They seem to be bandaging themselves, recovering, maybe pulling out some rations, some food. Getting a short rest in here. You have news to report.
The tunnel up ahead changes. The vines seem to take over. So it is very possible that we will be in the lake.
Seems safe here. We should rest. Like fully, and then maybe continue on. I can throw up a hut just in case, but I think being cautious and making sure we're rested is a good idea.
So while Thanos was scouting forward, Lucar and I were going to double back and see if we could get back into the ruins of the keep, or if it had fully collapsed, or what was going on there.
Okay, so while they're doing that, you're going to go back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I don't need to transition the map. You can't even get back to the portal as a gate. So after about 30 to 40 minutes or so, you eventually find the rubble that has caved in. And there's the movement of acid that's kind of flowing and moving and pooling in a way. But then it's pulling itself outwards of the vines. It's almost being absorbed by the vines and kind of pulled out as if this place could not actually be submerged. Natural in that way. It's kind of pulling and it's alive. So after 30, 45 minutes, it's it's very apparent. Not go back into the space that you were. Dungeon most likely is caved in at various points. At this point, it's inaccessible.
Okay.
That answers the question.
So then presumably we got back early because we weren't gone very long.
Yeah. Yep.
When Thanos gets back, I will ritually cast Lehman's tiny hut
Okay.
and get inside of it and prepare for a long rest.
Okay. Get inside, prepare for a long rest. Okay. Is everyone in agreement?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only one way we can go after this, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
As you're finding yourselves ready for a long rest, getting your bedrolls laid outwards, maybe keeping watch.
I think I would first watch, but if nobody else is staying up, then I would fall asleep after that.
Yeah, Mandel will take a shift. We don't know what's going on.
Mallory
Or
taking
when-
this
Erwin
ahead.
will take the third.
third shift. Okay. Maldor, go ahead and make a perception check. You hear the movement of water, as if there's something that has swum nearby. Swam, I should say. Then, as you're listening, you hear a large croak.
Frog.
Nothing else. Nothing crashes into the tunnel. Nothing responds. And after 8 hours, you all have a long rest. I'm
Oh, yeah,
advancing the
just-
time clock. It's not the real time, okay? This time clock just reflects the transition from day to night in space. Which is completely irrelevant. Just allows me to keep track.
Does the staff roll for new charges, or it's still what it was?
That is correct. The staff will roll for a new charge.
Question. If I go in and edit the Guardian emblem and change the limited uses from per charges to per day, will that fix it?
To where it automatically rolls.
Yeah, where it automatically regens after a long rest. It was set to just 2 out of 3 per charges.
Remember against
But
all
it's
expense
drop
charges.
down.
Yeah, if you do per day, it'll recharge. So I'll put it back to 3.
Okay.
You do the right thing. If you change it to day, it should respond when you do the rest.
Cool. Yeah.
So
As you all
forward we go?
rise, awake, your billing never stops. Forward you go.
Before we move, you said that the vines seem to have thorns on them.
Some of them do. Yes.
I would actually like to try to take a thorn and see how the vines react, seeing as how up ahead there is no more ground. So before we have to rely wholly on the vines, I'd like to make sure that they're not fully alive and that it's more.
Roll a dex save. Please make a Constitution saving throw.
Of course.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
You take 8 points
that-
of piercing damage. You can assign it to your character sheet. As you pluck a thorn off, there is a whip that thrashes out of the vines, crashes, slashing against your cheek. Then there's a sting to it, like a stinging nettle, almost as if there is a poison like effect.
I think you made the plants angry.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and cast Goodberry for my morning food anyway, and we're gonna.
Start flipping it off as you eat the good berries.
Yeah,
Well,
pretty much.
good berry, home of a good berry. Would you like a good berry?
While we're walking, if it's possible, I'd like to open the Tome of the Beholder and speak the command word Wakala and look for a chromatic orb.
All right, give me a roll.
Big money, big money.
No.
Womp, womp, womp.
Continuing
Fine.
the streak.
You can look for it again tomorrow.
You look for it
Yeah,
again?
it's all good. I much rather this version than the old version.
Yes. Yes, I think
It's
it was a
easy
good
to
change.
track, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good change.
But yeah, I think Varus is just like doing anything to like not talk to anybody. So like he opened that book, it wasn't in there. He puts that book away. He opens up a spell book, and he's just like looking through it. Just
Gotcha.
Speaking of, Maldor's gonna come talk to you, just because you don't want to talk to people. No, he's actually gonna grab Thanos and Varus as we're walking,
Mhm.
and just mentions like the siege on the keep was so busy, didn't really have time to deal with it. But when we were freeing those prisoners, something happened to me or to my equipment. I don't know. Axe felt less in my belt. It seems to have been sapped of its strength. I don't know if it was something arcane in nature or curse. Or what could have happened?
if you give me a second, I can. If you give me 10 minutes, I think I can know for sure. And I'll sit down and cast Identify on his belt.
Okay. Sit down using Ritual Cast to cast Identify in the belt. As you begin to feel presence. It's a common, ordinary belt. There's no magic at all.
Your belt isn't magical anymore.
I would like to inspect his axe at that point then and see if the runes or the engravings from the dragon's blood that they put in it have dulled.
You can make a Smith's check using intelligence.
I think this is set up right. Wow.
They have dulled.
The potency of your axe has also been drained.
Seems like that would take an immense amount of power.
Yes, enough power to keep somebody in that could call a storm of lightning, perhaps.
Is there any way that I can decipher why this happened?
Roll an Arcana check.
Oof.
One. You would need to spend some more time investigating the locks and the cages, as well as Trillia's experiments to figure that out. Or you can try talking to Trillia themselves. I got Adam with that one for sure.
Rip.
As it stands, your your belt of fire giant strength is just a belt.
Not particularly fashionable either.
And you just hit a lock?
Yeah, just smash the locks on the cages.
They were probably enchanted, seeing as how the druids inside of the cages had immense power.
This doesn't
So-
seem. That's an incredibly powerful enchantment to imbue something with, though.
Would it not just be
I'm
an
surprised
enchantment to?
the force
dispel.
required.
Do you
Yeah,
know how
just-
hard it is to dispel an item like that?
Plus, that's temporary.
I mean, yes, but to prevent a druid from being able to just simply blow up the lock.
The amount of power, I'm surprised I wasn't destroyed in the process.
Well, what about your rings and everything? Do you still feel? Is it just the axe and the force behind it?
As far as I can tell, everything else still works.
Would you mind letting me hold one of your rings just to?
Sure.
And I would just like to make sure that his rings haven't dulled as well, like the markings aren't, the engravings on it aren't.
Are you a jeweler? You're in everything.
Oh,
I'm a
no, I'm
smith
not a
and
jeweler.
I'm a jeweler.
I mean, I figured it'd be the similar, like, you know,
Give me-
runes.
give
I'm
me a
just looking at the
second.
runes.
Not really. I mean, that's a
That's
ring.
Yeah, but the enchantment's the
Thanos,
same.
Thanos, give it to me. And I will
Give it
cast
to me.
Identify on the ring and make sure it still works.
Okay. Ritual casting identifying the ring. It appears so. Still works.
Your rings are still good. Now hand it to Maldor.
So it was
Something I
just the
suppose.
magic behind the strix.
Yeah, it was just the most powerful things that I had that blew up, not the trivial things.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe that'll teach you to pick the locks instead of smash the locks.
Like we had time in the middle of a fort siege to stop and fiddle with locking mechanisms.
If he hadn't, all those druids would still be in that camp.
We're dead.
I mean,
Well,
the
they'd be
towers
dead.
couldn't see that
place has
side.
the place has been reduced to rubble.
Some of us are quite excellent at picking locks. I'm just saying. We could
You
have
were too
stopped
busy
after we killed
murdering
that.
people.
Were you going to sit down and pick the lock in the middle of our siege?
Yes, the archers couldn't shoot that side from the towers, so there's no
I think
disadvantage
Grugash
to taking the time.
Grugash would have gotten there earlier, so it didn't
Well,
matter.
Didn't know at that point that he was on the way.
What I'm saying is, I think we made the right decision, and unfortunately, your materials got ruined. I'm sorry.
I'd do the same again. It worked out.
But we'll visit Bruga again. We'll figure this out.
Fine, now I just get to make you better items.
These things are just tools. The tools do not make the warrior.
Now that's something we can agree with. If you don't mind, though, when you spoke to Trillia, did she say what her goal was?
Simply to survive, as much as I could gather from her. It seemed like she's using Lucar as a escape vessel, if nothing else.
So do you think they would say anything or do anything to survive?
Probably.
Because the other one said she knew or could help me find my brother. I don't want to believe her, but it's also like any opportunity that you have to go and help him, you should, right? You should tackle any lead. You shouldn't leave anything out. I don't know. I
It is
feel
difficult.
guilty.
You certainly don't want to leave anything to chance, but you also don't want to let your desire to find family to be used against you as a trap of sorts. I don't know. What she did tell me was that all of the other spirits were her sisters, all of whom she murdered at the behest of Orsivis, and she had been holding them captive and using them as spiritual guidance of the sort. So, I don't know how useful their information can be outside of anything they might have experienced working for Trulia in the marshes.
The one talking to me said that they wanted to return to the Fae realm. They didn't seem interested in revenge, or really this place. I don't know. It's hard because I have a soft spot for wanting to go home. That's what they pleaded. That was their case, and they even said that they would relinquish control and not bother me.
What she did tell me was that her sisters, well, and she previously, were members of a coven who were sworn to some deity. It did not sound like a particularly benevolent deity. Not that any of them are overly benevolent in my experience. She did not align with them. She wanted more power. She wanted to do more things. So she was cast out before she ultimately went back and murdered them all. So it's possible that her sisters might be slightly more agreeable than her, but they are also evil zealots and probably not to be trusted.
Something to think about.
I did learn one more thing, if she's to be trusted, not that I particularly do. This fragment of divinity that we possess, it is apparently a fragment of a deity of order.
The deity of order. Sorry.
Racking my brain, have I ever heard of a particular deity that is the deity of order?
Go ahead and make a history check. Or religion.
I'll do history.
Okay. "26. The title of the deity of order is the title of a deity that had not formed any creations except for small creations that would try to correct the chaos that was created by the celestials and infernals during Severance. The Evil Order was a neutral party that continued an absolute to try to restore balance within all realms. They are accredited with having a domain in the Celestials that is isolated, care noting of devotes. They seek to not garnish, form power. Here in utter isolation.
So they were a neutral deity that tried to keep balance between the Celestials and the Infernals, you said?
They are a deity that has been accredited with trying to balance chaos that was caused and stirred during the war between deities, Severance.
The universe has a striking sense of irony.
I think I would, let them know.
Okay.
about that. So I have another question, and I don't know if I would know this or not, but based off of the research that me and Maldor did within the library, does it seem more likely now that this deity may have played a role in banishing those gods to the Shadowfell and the Fey
It
realm,
is
or
it
not
is
banishing,
it
or
is possible that they aided in that, but those deities have forsaken themselves to those planes of existence by using and sacrificing their powers to do that. Now, did this deity of order do something similar? That has not been told. It also, the name of the deity is not told. It's only the title, deity of order, because they actually do not have devoted that they speak to. Right? There is not a coven or a religion or a temple that holds to this deity of order. You could pray to the deity, but in doing so, there would be no response. We talk about influence and power, how deities call to their devoted and do these great things through the cosmos and history that are told hypotheticals or even as real. The information that you're pulling from is simply what is told by historians and scholars, lore masters, that there are players that might have had an influence during this hypothetical time where battles occurred, war, prime material plane was at stake, and that a deity of order, the deity, had an influence in that moment, that they revealed themselves not to the creations, to any of the people on the prime material plane, but to the deities themselves, to convince, to speak. And so the historians and lore masters would talk in the way that it would be from the words of the deities. That the deity of order came to me, gave me guidance. That is the language that you would read. And through that would be prayers and things that would be devoted to that deity, not to the deity of order. Does this make sense?
yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of crazy. But yeah, I would share basically all my thoughts with Maldor, because I know he's particularly interested in deities.
Okay.
The thing that we carry within us, divine spark of order, among people who have made a deal with the epitome of chaos. All ironies aside, we may carry the one thing that would enable us to undo him.
Yeah, it almost, I don't know. I have a thought, and it could be kind of out of left field, but it almost feels like this deity of order is like a deity of deities. Like he played the role of an overwatch, like an overwatch of what the deities were doing, and settled a conflict that would have destroyed the material plane. Almost like a boss, or like a king. I don't know, but I don't know, he doesn't seem interested in power particularly, so it almost like he's all powerful or
I'm sure the old one views themselves much similarly, as separated from all of those struggles, yet having a vested interest in how they play out, just with very opposite goals.
it's a lot to think about. On top of what we're doing all the time, which is a lot to think about. God damn.
So I suppose we have more pressing concerns at the moment.
Yes. Gotta be honest though,
Of course.
I mean, this is just gonna sound like complaining, but it almost feels like on our journey, we take one step forward, we understand something in the tiniest way, and then we take 10 steps back. We're like, oh, well, now this new information confronted itself. We maybe make a stride in maybe helping the people of this swamp, but now we're stuck underground running from a dragon. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm, and this is just negative, but I feel like I'm losing all the time. And it's, you get a small victory somewhere, and then you're just constantly getting your shit kicked in. And I don't know, I'm not used to that way of life, but my life was easy. This is nothing but hardship.
Many things in life are. But I believe that is the nature of knowledge, is it not? The more that you learn about the world, the smaller you realize you are. That does not mean that you have lost, simply that you must reframe your approach.
Yeah. I guess before, when I studied a lot, I learned a lot, but it was knowledge in a vacuum. Knowledge that was cool and had meaning didn't affect me. Now everything I learn feels like it has big consequences or it's super important. I don't know. I'm just complaining, so I don't know if any of this actually matters, but
We've been assaulted by the new text.
And its giant white border. Yeah.
It
No,
makes you
I
feel
He even
any
had the
better.
sound effect for it and everything. Fucking
prepared.
A.
I understand the irony though. But I do feel like he would react like this after feeling
I
like
think
shit.
it's great. I think it's great. Yeah, it's a good job.
If it's any consolation, I suspect it's only going to get harder.
Oh, that makes me feel fantastic. No,
I
but-
understand you're sad, but just know it always gets worse.
Therefore, there's nothing to worry about at the moment because something worse is coming.
and if I survive all this, which is a big maybe, I'll be the most experienced ruler my land has ever known. So
You're going to be distinctly overqualified.
very much so. I could have quit after the first dragon and went back, and they would have been like, "Holy shit, you did something very hard." But I can't walk away, and that's what's torturing me. Is I'm too fucking curious.
Well, to pique your curiosity some more, since we didn't really get to go into it in Keep, I spoke to something on the other side of my stone. It was not a dragon. Seemed to be something from. They referenced the prime elementals. They also referenced that not everyone could be trusted. Assuming they're referring to the prime elementals. I don't know that we can necessarily trust the beings on the other side of these stones to guide us any more than we can the people here on the prime material plane. Just to make your life a little bit more complicated, if your stone decides to speak to you, it may not be in your best interest, but in the best interest of it getting its stone back.
It did talk to me. So I heard a voice say "run" when the dragon hit. And it was
Sounds like prudent advice.
yeah, it was very good advice. It was also very low, grumbly. You know, it did kind of have the personality I would imagine Grugash has as well.
It was a dick.
Yes, it sounded like it did. I don't know for sure. I didn't speak to him. He said
You got
run,
that
and I
from
didn't
one
answer.
word?
Yeah,
Very
but
perceptive.
you know, you just have that vibe.
I'm starting to think you just think everyone's a dick because everyone's a dick to you.
Exactly.
I mean, if everyone is a dick to you, then they are, in a way, being a dick, at least temporarily.
Actually, you know what? Why don't we check on Erwin? Because he probably is having way more of a rough time than me.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm having a great time over here.
How you
Is
hanging
it
in
really?
for real?
Well, I'm looking at my notes, and there's nothing of a dragon on the itinerary for yesterday, so that was a nice surprise. I know we were trying to avoid it. I understand. But holy shit, I almost shit my pants.
Didn't you come here to help us slay a dragon?
I came
Well.
here to basically fix the swamp. And, you got one thing led to another. I know we're supposed to fight this guy.
Ye-
I just didn't expect it to be so fast and him to be so scary.
Very scary. Much scary, very well.
Welcome to the ill-fated.
You do
This
not take
is
that
Still
name
smaller
lightly.
than Trezgol is. I think.
You also kind of beat Trezgol's ass.
He was very big.
Yeah, but can Trezgol die?
I suppose if
I
you
don't-
chop him into enough small bits, he might not be dead, but he would be very unhappy.
Is what this. I don't think he can. I don't know.
Isn't
How does
the
that
whole
even
purpose
work?
of his new form that he can't die?
I don't
Then
know.
if he-
Harold, why
if
don't
he
you
was
tell us
half
how your
dead-
master works?
I got no fucking clue.
Also, are you going to try to convince him not to destroy Lathan, or you sounded very like he's doing
What
that
am I
in
gonna
that
say?
sense.
What if you
Convince
threaten
him
to
about
say-
A former worshiper or current worshiper of his sworn enemy kidnapped a bunch of his kids.
I mean, you could try to convince him that the sworn worshiper did a lot to aid our troubles and make him seem out to be a good guy. You're very persuasive.
Or
Well,
you just
technically-
convince him that he doesn't worship the golden dragon anymore.
I was going to say, I believe Kularez was an outcast from the Belnok. He was persona non grata. Not among one of the faithful, so to speak.
And then you can put your little, Tegan pizzazz on it, make it sound good, like you always do.
A little English on it, some spice.
Throw a couple of little fucks in there, and
A couple of what is going on.
What is going?
Speaking of little fucks, were you two making out upstairs?
Yeah, Erwin, what the fuck happened, huh?
I don't know. Why don't you ask the voice in your head? I had no control.
Yeah, well, that was my mistake, taking him out of your head and putting him into mine.
I was in you first.
Everyone has that little voice, but you have to keep
No,
it in your
that's
pants.
not what we're
okay?
talking about, Tegan.
Oh,
what little voice are you referring to, Tegan?
I'll tell you when you're older.
I support your recreational activities, but in the midst of battle is not the time.
That is exactly what I told him, but I don't think he could control himself, so it threw me off guard. Also, Erwin, the best form of romance is consent.
Poor Erwin. Get
Erwin
blamed
Watts.
for this.
But I know it wasn't your fault. I tried to cast polymorph on you. Why would I have done that?
That's why I got stunned right before Trillia died.
Wait, you got oh fuck. Fucking hell. Yes, that is what happened.
In fairness, that's the only reason we knew to come looking for you.
I guess that's kind of a good thing.
I was a little scared I was gonna walk into that doorway and you two were gonna be bumping uglies.
And what would have been wrong with that, huh?
Nothing. I just don't particularly want to see the two of you naked.
I mean, the location of being naked.
Consider yourself blessed
Probably.
if you ever
That
do.
entire top floor smelled of shit and refuse. That's probably not the place to do that.
No, but consider yourself blessed if you ever do see me naked.
Also, Tegan, what does bumping uglies mean?
Tell you when you're older.
Why don't you give him a sexual education? Actually, if you think you're
Is
so
there-
goddamn
is there-
funny.
Is there a pop-up book?
Judging by what I've seen and heard, it sounds like you're more qualified.
I mean,
I don't know. Don't the the celestial that fell from like the primordial soup plus the the one who lived a perpetual illusion and the child that left his family home, don't they all need sex ed?
no, my parents were very, I guess you would say, forward thinking. They taught me how my reproduction organs work.
It teleports Bruga. Oh, I could be your educator.
God,
Yeah,
if
we'll
there's
have-
anyone
Just
we
kidding.
need help
Just
right now,
kidding.
it would
Just
be
kidding.
Bruga.
Yeah, I know.
Well-
Bruga's not coming.
Oh my god. Alright, can we get the fuck out of this dripping?
Because we should probably
Tunnel?
move. I kind of
Yeah.
most of that conversation.
Speaking of
I
the
assumed we
birds and
were
the bees.
walking and
Yeah,
talking.
I'm assuming
Yeah,
that we're
that's
still
what I thought,
walking.
too.
It's just very fucking long.
I just think also, like, after what all just happened to Varys, just had to fucking, like, act like a normal person for a little bit. He's tired of fucking fighting everything.
Oh, we lost to Tegan.
Oh, holy shit, Tegan passed out.
Rest in peace. Alright.
Oh, he's waking up. Someone
Oh,
hit him with the
also-
smelling salts.
While we're walking, don't hit the walls. Or cut the walls.
Wait, what
Or-
did you do to the wall?
Of course not. You must
Nothing.
respect nature.
Don't
and
worry
it will
about it.
respect you back.
This is not nature, this is magic.
Okay, but
Very
if you give a
angry man.
warning
Man,
and
so I
then
need you
someone
to make
asks
another
why,
dexterity
and
saving
you say
throw.
don't
I'm just
worry
kidding.
about it.
Sees like vines come out towards Thanos. This isn't nature, right? Just like
It's just the power of nature.
So, like,
It's
lifting
just
them up.
insulting.
This isn't nature!
Don't worry, guys. I'm a druid.
Also,
I'm gonna-
God,
Play it.
it's like, also, God, the damn outdoor, you got a fucking death grip. Jesus.
That's true.
Yeah,
I've
I
got acid
apologize.
too.
I was trying to intimidate the spirit out of you. It didn't work.
What were you planning on doing it once it left?
I was trying to get it to take me so that you could figure it out. It seemed like a problem for smart people.
That's how you see me?
Of course.
As a small person?
Smart.
Smart.
Smart. Oh, thank you. You said small.
I
was
wondered
like,
when I was like, that's a strange
That
reaction.
is dude.
Both adjectives are valid.
Well, that's not nice.
Wow. Did you do? Never mind. I'm just gonna let that go. Can we continue down this hallway now?
Fine with me.
Okay, so we are proceeding forward down the tunnel. Eventually, after a few hours, several hours transpired as you have continued, and again, in similar fashion as I had described to Thanos, that is what is happening here. The tunnel is natural; it's alive, it's writhing, it's moving. You're having to navigate through certain things, and it's not that the earthen tunnel hasn't. Is not there at some point. Sometimes you do see the earth through. Suspecting and looking at that earth, it's covered in resembles of vegetation and algae and things. And you immediately recognize that as the bottom of a lake. As you're looking at that and you continue to press forward, eventually you reach glowing of green, and that light, that energy bounces through, and a cavern or chamber begins to form. The earthen walls peek through, as if this vine tunnel has led you somewhere. What's the marching order?
Fish.
Begins in the back.
Big boys in the front.
I like to be sandwiched in the middle,
Hell yeah.
Like
Yeah,
a-
straight.
like a young sandwich.
All right, Lucar and Naldor at the front. Erwin, I'll have you next to Varys, and then Thanos, I'll have
Yep.
you in the back.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Thanos, you are exhaustion 4. You have taken a long rest, so you're going to go to exhaustion 3.
For like 5 minutes until it's exhaustion 7.
This
Like I
man.
say, we did not spend enough time in the swamp, unfortunately, for me to get enough shit to make my potion.
So as we come here, after several hours of travel, you notice that the tunnel itself begins to have a staggered feel of this earthen bedrock of the lake. And as such, it kind of goes and then goes down. And when it goes down at that point, there is light that's coming through of green. And some of the vines are more amassed and writhing and moving. They're marked as doors on this map. Then it levels off, goes down, levels off. But it's really the chamber that is forming this cavern. And you can observe across a small bridge of rock. It's loosely placed. Across of a channel of acid that bubbles and spits is a pool with a pedestal, a platform of rock. It extends as acid cracks through and seeps through and is moving and vibrating. There is a black egg that sits perched at a mantle of pedestal bone. And you stop and you stare. You see no movements. You hear nothing but the bubbling of acid, shifting of its liquid. Before we press in, I'm going to go ahead and end the session early. Because we have 3 sessions worth of experience points to allot. And if we press, depending on what you do next, you might not be able to, well, see
more
what that
XP.
experience.
Yeah, well, fuck. The High King is
gets.
Grugash, so fuck us.
So you can continue. We can continue to press if you want for the next 12 minutes, and if we
I
get
think
to
that's good.
something, we get to something.
Yeah, no, it's a good spot. Because he'd be like, well,
Good
we can't
spot.
level because you're looking at a dragon. Sorry.
Yeah,
It's a good spot.
I would like to.
I
level.
don't
Or
know
close
what
to
the I don't know what the experience points is. I have to calculate that out. I have to look through the
Should find out,
statistics.
though.
And I'll have to add that to this level. So I have to find out. I just want to give you the opportunity to choose what you path you
Well,
want.
we have nothing to lose and everything to gain by calling it here,
Right.
so.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's how I feel as well.
All right. With that, we're going to go ahead and call the session. You all on scene here. I'm going to go ahead and now calculate the experience points from the last 3 sessions.
Somebody remind me next week to chug all of the potions at the beginning of the session.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
going
I'm
to
out
say,
of potions
Erwin,
now, aren't I?
you got that acid resistance potion, right? I gave you one.
Yeah, I do. I also
Yeah.
have a acid resistance spell, but it's concentration.
Do I have enough shit to make another potion? Could I have made another potion last night? Could have made another potion last night. Bitch. I had enough.
As long as we have my dragon slaying staff of warding, we can't lose.
I'd love to see
And my
Tegan kill
ordinary
himself
mace.
by trying to run up with with that staff and hitting something.
Just bonk the dragon. It'd be great.
Hey, where was the necrotic thing I did before? I don't know, buddy.
The true secrets of this staff have yet to be uncovered.
Why can't I figure it out?
we're all gonna die.
We're only all gonna die if you say we're all gonna die. So now we're all gonna die because you said.
You
I
also said that before we fought.
can
Ethan,
cast
so.
Revivify twice.
To be fair, we
Unless you're the dead
all
one.
almost died
Unless I
to
die.
Ethrin, except for me.
I can also cast Raise Dead once, but that negates the 2 Revivifies.
We'll see how it goes.
I only went down against Ethrin because I had to keep saving the cleric.
Yeah, the cleric went down against Ethrin like 12 times.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I had to
what
keep
is-
picking him back up.
What is funny though is while y'all were picking him back up, though, Lucar was absolutely tearing into him.
Just murdering, yeah. Absolutely
Let's
murdering.
go.
Hey, we did it.
Let's go.
So you have 7,105 experience seats, which is going to put all of you but Irwin at 66,844.
Rip Irwin.
Yeah,
Irwin,
okay.
you're at
Yeah,
5,6. You put it in?
Yeah, 56399.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yep.
So, Irwin, you will not be leveling up. Which I'm fortunate, but it's
Yeah, we gotta
kinda
do
what-
that again, guys. So I can level up.
it's one of those. It's one of those situations where, again, your character dies. You're going to be in the same boat as well, right? So if you come in late to this is what happens in this campaign. It's how I've wrote it, and that there's more risk, right, the further you go in these levels, and that you will be behind in terms of things. It's not as detrimental though, because when you get to these levels, there is peaks and valleys with power spikes, and those are completely different now in terms of the classes. Certain classes will have peak at this level, other classes, right? And so it really is now under kind of your own experience, your own guide at this point, rather than competing with your companions for level 5 or something, right? To get that extra attack. So because now you're kind of diversifying in how these peaks will happen. So if you're watching the stream, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. We're going to get the stream closed out and do the level ups here. If you want to watch us again, you can check us out Saturdays at 11 a.m. PDT. And then you can also watch more of us, or not more of us, I said more of D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, for 4 o'clock, just an hour or so. Anyways, you have a good weekend. Appreciate watching, and take care. Bye.
Bye.
Everybody.
Bye.
Later.